Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the One Stop Podcast. As always, it's Brianna, Lindy, and Chris. And today we're talking about the absolute chaos that became Brazil.
I think we need a new word for chaos. Like, this was triple chaos. Like, what's a bigger word for that? I need a source.
Entropy,
Pandemonium.
Sure. Yeah,
pandemonium, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a really good one.
Yeah, Brazil was, about y'all, but it felt like the race was like 5,000 hours long.
Yeah.
The entire weekend was that way, I feel like, with the rain delays and everything else. I never did get all of qualies, because
It was crazy.
apparently I use a, not to be named, but large a TV streaming service that gave up on qualies after the 2 hours of delays and said,
Stop.
nope, not today.
Oh my
So
God.
I had to catch a replay, and I only got Q3. I did see the Albon crash in Q3, so I missed Q2. I guess something happened with Max in Q2. At least that's what I have found out.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that. Trust me,
Okay.
we'll talk about that because it was kind of like horrible for him. He came back though. Yeah, no, the whole weekend was. I felt like I lived 3 different lives, and I was like, all of them have come and gone, and then now finally we're at the race, and then the race just kept going, and I was like, what else can they throw at them?
Yeah, that was sprint race for me too, with the delays, and that was a little chaotic as well. I wasn't really sure what they were gonna do when qualies got delayed. Interesting that the FIA went to a super early morning and accelerated schedule. So, but I mean, yeah, I wasn't gonna wake up at 5:30 to watch qualies though. I'm not.
It was 4:30.
It was supposed to be 4:30.
Oh my gosh. I mean, they made it worth me waking up that early. But we can get into qualies later because we have to talk about sprint, quali, and sprint first because those were very eventful.
Correct.
All of it was
Start at the very beginning.
All of it was eventful. FP1, your thoughts, Lindy?
I didn't watch FP1.
Okay, moving on to Chris.
I missed it as well. Well, no, I caught parts of it, but I was working, so I wasn't able to dedicate the amount of time I could because I was trying to get work done. So.
Confession.
What about you, Bree?
Confession. I watched FP1, but couldn't tell you a thing about what happened.
That's kind of how I am with sprint qualies right now, so we'll see how this goes.
I think I remember a decent amount of sprint quali.
I remember a lot of sprint quali and sprint, yeah, but P1, I'm like...
I don't even remember like what the social media highlights were about in FP1. I don't even know who placed.
Somebody crashed, I think. I mean, there was a lot of crashes.
I mean...
Oh, wait, FP1, Lando was first, Ollie was third. Who was second?
Yes, Ollie was third. And there was Yuki up the top.
I do remember Ollie doing really good in FP1. That's right.
That was pretty good. That was a dry track, so it was good.
Yeah.
It was good for everybody. Yeah, that's interesting. Wow. Aren't we the best podcast? We're the best podcasters ever been.
That just shows how bamboozled this whole weekend was.
Yeah, everything got washed away with the rain, I feel like. Everything prior to qualies and sprint race qualies, it's just all went away with the rain before that. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So sprint quali.
Oscar got pole, right?
Orlando
got pole.
Oscar got pole, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oscar got pole.
We're getting there. We have a starting place now. Wow, okay, yeah. Oscar got pole.
And then Lando was second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, hold on. Things are working up here again.
Yeah, they're getting back. We're getting there.
Because we were texting, but then everything went haywire Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, no, because they introduced that new wing, and I was telling you guys, all those McLarens look super fast because that new wing, and I'm kind of curious if they reintroduced the flexi wing or not. But well, I guess we'll see from footage
We'll
over the weekend.
see.
But
Yeah.
the McLarens looked super fast, way, way, way faster pace than I think any other team on the grid.
Yeah, they were just
Agreed.
like throwing those purple sectors around. Oscar
Yep.
and Lando both.
Yeah,
They were like, one's going fast, the other one's going faster, and they were just like flip flopping who can go fastest.
Yeah.
I was proud of Oscar for that poll. That was a good poll.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And then we knew in quali that they were sorry, and then we knew in sprint that we knew they were gonna flip them. Like I knew that was gonna happen. Everybody knew it was happening. As soon as Oscar got pole, we all knew that they were gonna swap.
I honestly didn't think they were going to. After what Zach Brown said, they're both number 1 drivers. Papaya rules. Let them race.
No,
And
Lando's
that
closer. I knew they were gonna swap it.
did not happen.
I remember being torn because I was like, listen, Oscar earned his pole. You know, like he did really good. He has great pace. Then you've got Lando in the dirty air who looks like he could possibly be faster. And you've got Charles and Max behind who are like literally not far behind at all. But I'm telling you, I was like in my head, I was like, the second Max overtakes Charles, Max is coming for Lando. So I feel like they're gonna switch them. They're gonna want Lando to get the points, you know. And then what do you know? They did.
Yeah. I knew it. I mean, I know it's a gutting feeling for Oscar because total team player. Homeboy is doing his part, but the racer inside him is going to be like, no, I should have won, and you should have let me keep going. And he didn't want to give it up, but he did. He played the long game.
He is
there was
a team player.
There was that audio from him. He's like, thanks, mate. When they told him to swap, he's like, oh, great. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. And I get it, too. I get the strategy behind it. I do. You want to put every point forward to your guy up front. And honestly, it just sucks when you can see it both ways. Because I really like Oscar. I really do.
Yeah.
I do, too.
He's been growing on me this season.
Big fan.
And I like that Lando gave Oscar props. He was like, the win should have been his. Like, it was his, and he's a team player. So thank you to Oscar for, switching places with me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was business. That's what it was. That was a business race for them.
Team orders.
Papaya rules.
Papaya rules.
We love papaya rules, don't we?
No.
Should just let them throw them to the wolves like Ferrari does. Let them duke it out like Carlos and Charles do all the time, except for in Mexico when they actually were like Charles back up. I was very shocked because I was like, oh, we're going to have another fight. I was hoping for that between the McLarens.
Yeah, if only they could be like Mercedes, how like they just let George and Lewis handle it, and they don't seem too worried about it. They're like, because Grace, you got it. That's fine.
They fight like British men, okay? Oh, sir, after you, sir. No, sir. It's got a lot of like grace in their fights. They really just fight like gentlemen, which is fine.
So then you guys are gonna have to fill me in on qualies though, because like I said, I missed Q1, Q2 for race qualies. I caught Q3.
5 crashes, so we can start there.
5
crashes. 5.
Holy
5.
shit!
Both Astons. Ooh, community service.
Yep,
or you could be lucky with Charles and get a fine. I think you're at 6 now. You're officially at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually lower than what I thought it would be.
On the marker at like 2 that we've counted, but yeah, it's definitely like 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're Perfect. Up there. You're like, that's bueno.
Chef's
both
kiss.
Astons and both Williams and Carlos went out. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that during the race because Franco went off and damaged the car in qualies as well, and then Albon wrecked the car in Q3, right?
Pretty bad.
They couldn't fix it in time for the race, so he had to be out.
Yeah. Okay.
Lewis was that hurt to say out loud. Lewis was out in Q1 again.
What?
Yeah, and George was able to qualify perfect. I mean, I know qualies have been horrible for him all year, but like, I don't know. he was in a lot of pain as well. Him and
Yeah.
Fernando had a hard time.
From the track
Don't come
conditions.
at me with the old man jokes. Yeah, because they were porpoising like crazy. And
Definitely has
so
nothing to do with
now
their age. Yeah.
Mercedes has had a really bad time with their porpoising. So it was just really bad. And he was like asking when it's going to be over, kind of pain. But yeah, he was not enjoying himself this weekend. Quali's Q1, you could tell he was very visibly upset, shocked, just like what is happening. Felt bad. Who else was a shocker out?
Lando almost got out.
Yeah, that's right. He was like on the cusp.
Almost.
Yeah.
I think they were all struggling with, well, number one, it's a new surface, so it's going to be slicker. The oils are still releasing. Water, oil don't mix. And then new paint too, because it's a F1 weekend, so there's fresh paint on there. Because we'll get to that later, but I think that's how Albon ended up crashing too. I think just that front right got into the white line as he was in Q3, and the right rear, passenger rear, I think got in that paint, and that's how he lost the rear end, is how I saw it at least. Because he was in a straight line under braking when he went off. I forget what turn it was now. I think it was at...
I feel like it was 14.
Forget now.
I think it was 14. 4.
Was it turn 4?
It was 4.
Yeah. Whichever turn it was, but he came into braking, and then someone's getting murdered in the background, by the way.
Yeah, that's par for the course.
Once he hit that white paint, I think that's where the grip got lost, and he lost the car there.
That's why he was like, did my brakes fail? Because he was like, what the heck happened? I just almost cursed, and I'm glad I caught that. I'm not joining you in community service. It'll happen.
Whatever, man. It's fun here.
I mean, I actually am kind of jealous because you get community service with Max and Charles, so I guess it'd be a good time.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
It'll be fun.
It was like battle of the midfield teams, though, of who could get the fastest time. Like, it was Lando and then everyone else of, like, teams and drivers that you normally would not see that far up the grid. And it was just like, whoa, okay. What are you doing here?
That's one of the reasons why I love this track, especially in the rain, because I think it was, we were texting each other, but this track exposes every little mistake a driver can make. And it does that in dry conditions, but then it gets exponentially worse when you're in the wet. So it's such a fun track to watch, especially turn 1 being psychotic. Like, oh, you can go 3 wide now. Oh, now you only get 1 car through there. Good luck. Go left. Yeah.
So funny.
It's such a fun track. I love Brazil.
Absolutely. The wet was wet, though. That wet was wet. Like, you could have swam.
Water.
Could have swam. How about Lewis coming to the head of Pirelli tires and was like, bro, why don't you give us better tires and we could have been out there? He was like, I'm ready to drive.
Oh, I missed this. I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, he was on caught on F1 TV, I want to say. He like just came out after it was like canceled and he was like, I'm ready to drive. Why don't you give us some tires that can work in the wet?
Oh my god.
Yeah, because that was right after it got canceled the first time around. It was crazy. I was like really sitting there waiting for them to drive and no one did.
Okay, but how adorable was Yuki getting P3?
That was great. Yeah. That was great.
So cute.
That was so great.
I remember watching this interview, like afterwards, and like interview the top 3. And it was like, okay, Lando's height, normal. They adjusted it up a little bit to get George because, he's really tall. And then they had left it at George's height. And then as Yuki comes by, you see the top of his head.
It was so funny.
Table thing, and they're like, oh, let me adjust it back down. And he's just like, and I'm like, it's like a little child.
Yeah.
He's so
little
short
Yuki.
and just precious.
Oh, Yuki.
Genuinely, I was so happy for Yuki.
I'm sure he's going to love that you called him precious.
He is.
National treasure. Yeah, so Quali quali ending the way it did, I had my gut feeling about the start of the race because there was a lot of pressure
Yeah. I feel like me and
on
you
the
both
start of
talked
the
about
race.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. I mean, shoot. I just almost did it again. I'm so good at bleeping myself. Um, yeah, I was just like, okay, here we go. You know, there's a lot of pressure on this one, and I don't know, on those big starts, he really seems to just kind of not go for it. And I don't know if he got all discombobulated too with a boarded start. I mean, that was really something.
Oh, yeah, let's just talk about that real fast
That
before we talk
Yeah.
about George
that
and
was
Lando.
really
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so Lance, gravel is not where we drive.
Thanks, Lance.
We drive on the track, buddy. It was kind of like he was like done with his weekend. He was like, you know what? Any old excuse not to drive.
He was like, I want to go to the beach, so we're going to make a beach right here.
Beached.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that was something.
Are you talking about Stroll going off in the formation
Yeah,
lap?
on the
Oh,
formation
yeah.
lap. I was like, bro, what? What is happening? We should have known.
Don't know if I can remember anything like that or ever seeing anything like that. It was pretty impressive, put it that way. Pretty impressive. You went off on the formation lap.
Which
Dokie.
he had been doing all in qualifying too. And I felt like that was foreshadowing in qualifying that like he was going to do it again in the race. But you know what? He did it before the race.
Yeah. That was interesting. And then everybody lined up and boarded start.
And then Lando
just took off and
Yeah.
half of everybody went with him. And I was like, what's happening?
I feel like someone had to have said like go again or something. I don't know, because that whole thing was weird. Even the FIA was like, you know what, we'll go over this after the race.
Lando's Uber got there before everyone else's. He's like, I'm out. Peace.
Dude did book it from Brazil that night. He was like, I'm done. Don't blame him. That was a crazy weekend. But yeah, everybody followed. Confusion. Max couldn't restart his car.
Yeah, he was stuck there for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of them were actually like stuck.
Yeah.
I was like, for a second, I was like, oh my God, did the race like actually like for real start? And he's just like stuck. Is this it?
Oh my gosh. And you had Carlos just sitting idle from the pit lane. And they were talking about like, what's Carlos going to do? Because the cars aren't meant to just sit idly like that. And I'm like, no. What is he going to do?
He was chilling in the pit. Yeah, and then we got it back together, restart, get out of the car and turn it off. Just turn it off. Let's try again later. And then it was right about the time that the rain was going to really start. And boy, did that rain come. Holy shit. Oh.
Okay, well, there you go.
All right, there we go.
One.
Yep, one. You're catching up real quick.
Sure am. Not bad.
All right, God,
I'd be at like 50 if I wasn't like.
I'm not really the only sinner in the room.
A self-aware queen.
Let's not go too far and say I'm a self-aware queen because it's me we're talking about. I'm like halfway self-aware.
More times than not, though.
I don't want you to give me that look. You give me that look like, and I feel bad.
Who gave you a look?
You be giving me a look.
Me?
I have a potty mouth. When I use it, you're like, Chica.
Oh, well, I haven't noticed it on the podcast.
Because I don't want the look. Anyway, restart. And the start was George.
I just knew that George was going to do it.
The start was George.
Yeah.
Yeah. He held on for a while.
Like, it looked like... Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, like, it looked like they both had great starts, but then one of the commentators was like, it looks like George just got a second win because he, like, accelerated just literally right past Lando.
Yeah, I think Lando had some wheel spin in the very beginning, at least a little bit. It was enough to slow him down. It wasn't a lot, but he had a little bit of wheel spin. When I really, really looked at the replay, I think he had a little bit of wheel spin, and then that allowed George to get ahead of him because the McLaren's clearly faster than Mercedes. So I just his Lando's race starts, they're just hit or miss right now, especially with the conditions. It's wet as hell, and so I think that wasn't that I could say hell. It's not a
I didn't say
another
no. I
strike.
was agreeing
Oh,
with you.
I thought she went.
I said,
"Mm-hmm."
no, I said, it was wet as hell. It was freaking
Yeah,
wet.
we'll leave that one.
I thought I got another community service day. I was like, no, you can say hell. Yeah, but it was a good start though. It was insane. I mean, what Max went up 6 places by like turn 3.
Yeah, I was like by like 4 or
10
something.
places and 10
up.
laps.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew he was going to Verstappen everybody. Except he pulled a Hamilton and then put a Verstappen spin on it.
Yeah.
And he said, no DRS.
It was wild. It was it was, in my honest opinion, that was the best race of the season so far.
Heck yeah.
With them
5 disqualifications.
Oh my God. No DNFs.
Sorry.
One disqualification.
Yeah, one. Yeah. Sorry. I got the words mixed up.
Oh my gosh. And then like when I saw Franco crash, I was like, oh my God.
No,
wait,
Franco.
who got DQ'd?
Magnussen. Not Magnussen.
Nico.
Oh,
Hulkenberg.
Yeah, that's right. Hulkenberg.
I was like, Magnussen was sick. Yeah. He got the black flag that everybody was like, wait, when's the last time we saw this?
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Long time. And then
they only fined Mercedes for touching the tires before the race?
5 each. Yeah.
5. And then the team, how much? 10?
The way my eyes are blinking, like, I can't remember what the team fine was.
Yeah, they probably double it, so it's probably 10 to the team.
Yeah, probably.
Generally.
So Nico with the disqualification, Carlos with the DNF, Alonso with the DNF. No, he finished. He finished. Yeah, because his back was hurting, but he said he was going to finish. Stroll with the DNF.
Behrman.
Yeah. No, Ollie finished, right?
Ollie finished.
Albon, because he never even started.
Right. Yeah,
and
then
Franco.
And then Franco,
Okay.
It claimed so many people. I think that's math. I think that math is mathing.
Because there was 5 DNFs total, I thought.
4, and then Nico.
Sainz,
so 5.
Sainz was the last one to join the boy band.
That's right. Sainz had a hard weekend.
I was getting Ollie and Sainz
Ollie,
confused.
scared for his life. He was like, baby, I am not trying to die for this. I'm not trying to die for this. I'm trying to live.
He had a couple scary spins there.
Yeah.
And every time he got it back on track and kept trucking. I was proud of him. I never saw the proof, but apparently on the radio he told his engineer, like, I don't want to die. And I was like, he's just a baby. Like,
he's just a baby.
19. I can't imagine how, scared he probably was.
I mean, it was a lot to learn in one weekend.
Yeah, and apparently that was his first time ever racing in the rain. So, like, that was such a learning experience for him.
Same with Lawson, I think.
Yeah, Lawson and Franco, too. Colapinto. I was curious on how these guys do. All he said he had done a tire test for F1 for Pirelli in the rain once. But
nothing like that.
Nothing like this. Yeah, this was torrential rainfall.
You couldn't even see them on the TV. You were like, oh, there's a car. Wait, where'd it go?
Yep. And then from the driver's perspective, too, they were just water everywhere.
Just guessing. They're just guessing. Yeah. I'm still straight, I think.
Yep. I can see a red blinking light ahead of me. I should be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. Let's talk Alpine, because Alpine, legends that you are this weekend. Oh my gosh.
I feel like something was healed between the two French boys, like
for the night. For the night at least. Yeah.
I
have a lot of friends like that. We're friends for the day today.
It was truly heartwarming. I don't know why.
It was what Jack put something. Jack put something in that coffee that he served.
It's the coconut that they got from the coconut stand. It's the coconut.
That and Jack. Okay. Yeah. It was magic. It just came together and they totally killed it.
Yeah. If anyone had told me that Alpine was going to get P2, P3 and a podium before race day, I'd been like, you're full of crap. Like, what? No, thank you. It's like, you're out of your mind. I would have bet more on Checo getting a podium than Alpine. It was incredible. And then Max from P17 to P1. I mean, given there was circumstances that allowed that with the red flag and safety cars and everything else, but still, that was an incredible drive.
Insane. Even Lewis had to give it up to him when they were like, yeah, does this remind you of the time you did this? And he was like, I think this one was even better because of everything he had to go through.
Yeah.
With the weather. Everything was crazy.
That was a $30 million podium, by the way.
Really?
Well,
in the constructors, because it brought them up from 9th to 6th.
For Alpine?
They got so they.
Oh yeah, they jumped.
You know, like the money that you get towards the end, like depending on where you place, like apparently 9th to 6th was an extra like $30 million.
I thought it was $50 million.
Maybe 50.
I think it's $50 million more for the team. I'm pretty sure it could be. It's I don't know. It's a lot of money either way. It's tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were arguably the worst team on. Well, Alpha's pretty bad too. Alpine's was bad though.
No, they just no.
Isn't Stake last?
Stake has no points, so
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it weren't in the rain and all the circumstances, Alpine should have no points too. Well, no, Ocon got a podium. Yeah,
they've been fast lately. These last 3 weekends, they've been looking good.
Yeah, they've been 9
placing
out of
well.
10.
Yeah.
Now they're 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you guys said like how you could barely just see the like lights flashing in front of you of the car in front of you, that reminded me of when Lando finally overtook George, and I'm like, it is literally pouring down rain, and this man was like, well, I can't really see anything. We're just gonna go ahead and pass George.
Can't see anything. Oscar, he said it so many times on his radio. I can remember what words were. And he was like, literally, I can't see a thing. I can't see a thing. And I was like, that's the scariest thing you could ever hear from your driver. How do you keep him safe? To be fair, I can't see at all ever, so I don't know how.
Yeah, when it's storming, I can't see. At night, can't see. Oh my gosh,
that nighttime is like, woo,
it's so bad.
Woo. God,
I see double headlight everything.
Yeah, it's a gamble. It's a real gamble. We make it. Formula One driver, not in our future.
Yeah, but you know what was a gamble? Was Lando and George hitting when they did, not knowing that soon after was going to be a red flag and everyone was going to get a free pit.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, you play the game, you win or lose.
Well, multiple teams did that too, where they pitted, and I mean, it would have been, I don't know, some of the strategy on those pit stops didn't make a lot of sense because everyone was pretty much on worn out intermediates, and they knew there was the threat of rain incoming, and once those intermediates get hot, they wear off the tread that helps the spread or move the water out from underneath the tread. Once that's gone, you're basically on slicks, and the compound isn't as good as a soft. They still pitted them anyways. There's a few teams I think that made. Russell, I know, was pretty pissed off about that.
He was.
He
had some words to say to his engineer.
I mean, wasn't that the moment too that gave Alpine second and third? Or no, because at one point Ocon was first, and Pierre was still third because Max was second or something. Yeah, Max was splitting the Alpine. So I feel like that was the moment that gave Alpine the in, but had they not have pitted and waited for the lucky red flag to come out, then they could have still been at the front.
I am with Lando on that rule though, where only P1, P2, P3 can do a free tire change under a red flag condition, which I kind of agree with Lando. It's kind of silly. Like, let them all change their tires. I mean, you can't give 3 teams. It was some rule from like 2021 or something like that. 2020 or 2021, they changed it. I was like, that doesn't seem very fair. But so Ocon, Max, who was in P3 at that time? Was it
Pierre?
It was Pierre, I thought.
Was it Pierre? I think you're right. They all got free tire changes under the red flag. Yeah, got fresh tires. And I know I've heard multiple drivers complain about that rule in the past, and then but didn't hear much from Alpine or Red Bull this weekend. It's like, okay. And Lando's like, they're not going to complain about it now. I don't agree with Lando's statement that it was just pure luck, though. I was like,
but that was taken out of context.
Yeah, true. When you hear the entire, I read the
It was
entire statement
totally
today.
out of context. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's been getting so much hate,
Death threats.
everything over
What?
that statement. Yeah.
Yes.
When Lando
Oh
opens
God.
his mouth, everyone is like the first to like attack him in
They
crazy ways.
just
So let's just put a blanket statement out there right now. We are passionate people. You can watch the sport. I'm going to be real with you. Get yourselves together, because we should not be doing death threats over a statement like this. And you need to learn how to read and use comprehension, because
and
he
go to
did not say
therapy.
what he said. Let's leave him alone and let's just chill. Let's watch the
And
racing.
there were people literally making edits of it, like purposely misconstruing what Lando said to cause strife between Max and Lando. And I'm like, y'all literally suck as human beings. Like, I saw a tweet today, and it was a screenshot on Threads where this girl was like, I hope that Lando's depression gets so bad that he offs himself because he sucks as a driver. And I'm like, why would you say that?
It's been absolutely crazy.
And
He
then
didn't deserve it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. And he speaks out about mental health all the time, which I also just like, why would you say that to someone who you already know like struggles and like speaks out about it? But then people were leaving so many hate comments on his post on Instagram, and he was like going through liking them. And I was like, okay, one, unbothered king. Two, if that was me, I don't think I would want to read them, because I feel like even though if you have a good mindset about it, it's still now it's like in your head.
It would get so much community service for what I really want to save, so I'm just gonna not do community service. But I really would like to do community service.
At the end of the day, I think it just says more about the people who have this much time on their hands to sit behind their phones and computers at home and bully people online. You must have a miserable, horrible life.
Thank you for saying it in a way, but it's okay. I can't deal with that.
Did you, speaking of community service, you see the photo of Max flipping the bird on top of the car with his team?
Oh yeah. He had a great time.
Pretty awesome.
He had a great time.
And he's back, P1 back in the race. I think I was running the numbers now, and I think
he just needs Vegas.
Norris now really has to beat him every single sprint race and every single race rest of the season, because he's only got three races left, right? We got Vegas, Qatar, and then Abu Dhabi.
If Max wins in Vegas
left and a 62-point deficit.
Yeah, if he wins Vegas, he'll secure it. That's his championship this year.
Yeah, that's what I think, or that's what I thought. Sorry.
That's what
I think. That's what I think. Sometimes I think. But no, I think it's Max's. I think it's gonna be his 4th championship. We'll see what happens next year with all the rumor mills happening.
Yeah,
depending on this. I'd really, if the rumor mill is remotely close, but signs to Red Bull would be absolutely
insane.
Incredible.
Yeah, Franco,
I'd be such a Signs fanboy. Yeah,
me too. Oh, fangirl. Sorry.
We'll see.
But there are not okay. Also, another big rumor was the person who first said that Franco was going to Williams has also come out and said Franco is going to Red Bull. So I don't know. That would be crazy too. That'd be a big move.
Well, I think Franco is running a Red Bull in P1 for Vegas. He's going to run the car, and I think so is Yuki is going to run the car before end of the year, at least in a free practice session. Or no, it wasn't Yuki. It was Lawson and Colapinto. I think are each going to run a free practice session by end of year. So I think Red Bull's trying to figure out who's going to take, allegedly, if they're going to take a seat, which does not rhyme with Max Verstappen. It's either going to be Franco, Yuki, Liam Lawson, or now there's a new rumor mill, because I guess Horner was caught going to the Williams
HQ
for a meeting.
For coffee.
Yeah, for coffee. Yeah, quote unquote.
Coffee.
I think
coffee too.
I think it'd be really smart for Red Bull to take on Signs.
I agree.
25 seat.
Bring him back.
Figure out because he's supposed to go to Williams anyways next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's who he signed with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they can figure out financially how that works, and then have Sainz in a Red Bull, maybe even a 1-year contract, because who knows what Sainz is going to want to do in 26 when Audi's fully on board. But yeah, I don't know. It's a cutthroat sport. We'll see what happens. Should be interesting.
Yeah.
This off season is going to give us a lot of content. I can give you that much.
For sure. Something else that happened today that me and Bree saw that was interesting was the Grand Prix Drivers Association or something came out with an Instagram page today. Yeah, me too.
I followed it.
I wonder what that's going to be about.
They follow all the drivers.
And they all followed back.
A couple one director, one sponsor or something. I think they're gonna, I don't want to add to the rumors, but I think that they are forming their own little union.
Oh, they've done that.
Yeah, but for better control.
They've done that so many times in the past. They've disbanded, rejoined, recreated.
Now it's on Insta. Now it's on Insta, yeah.
I think they have a drivers union right now. Did she just crush a can and throw it in the corner?
Her freaking juice box.
I'm pretty sure she just crushed a juice box like my daughter does and just throws in the trash.
Yeah, I did. She was like, man, I'll finish this.
That was incredible.
Take that, Honest. Oh my God.
Honest, please send me your juices.
All right, everybody. That's been it for Brazil. Upcoming, we have our nice little break, but we have interviews that we are scheduling and we're going to have. So if you want us to be on the podcast, hit us up. We have it on our link tree. There is a form you can fill out and I will contact you. And then after the break is over, the last 3 races, it's going to get real. It's going to get real. So everybody stay tuned. We're going to have some cool announcements coming out soon. And as always, bye.
Thank you.